A week later, he was like, let me get the song, please send me the song. Virgil wants to use it for his Louis Vuitton Miami shirt. I don't even know who Virgil was. I don't know shit. I play Donkey Kong in my house and I do whatever. My housemate, he's educating me on who Virgil is. And the next day I wake up and my other housemate, Jack, comes in, he goes, you said you were working with Virgil? I was like, yeah. He was like, he just passed away. Benji messages me going, listen, this song Golden has become the soundtrack to this part of everyone's lives. I see Pharrell there in the crowd and my song's playing. I've not released a song in my life. What's happening? Virgil ended up being one of the men that I'm most thankful for in my whole career that I'd never met in my life before. Golden taught me that if you start doubting a song, remember how you felt like in the moment you were writing it. Hi, I'm Elmiene. I'm 24. I'm a singer-songwriter and you are watching the Newprint. I am of Sudanese descent. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany. I lived there for 5 years. Don't speak German before you ask. I forgot it, because then I moved to Oxford, which is where I was raised. Oxford is what Americans think England is. Like the old buildings and the parks and the River Thames going through it. But I used to go down like one of the college alleyways and like listen to like Silk. There's a meeting in my bedroom. No one's ever listened to Silk in this alleyway. And I'd walk around and be like, I wonder where else no one would have listened to Blackstreet. Because of the fact that there was no one to talk to about R&B in my city, it became like my little like personal treasure. And I was obsessed with it because I knew no one else had it. It was all mine. So when I was in Frankfurt, my family weren't really there. Like I only met my cousins when I moved to Oxford when I was like 6. And they used to have this big storage database with a bunch of all like the current R&B songs at the time. So like my older cousins, they were like 13, 14 at the time. They'd be like, yo, you gotta listen to T-Pain. Put this on. Boom. House brown, dog, she got me. Like all these sounds. So my dad never liked music, so we never had music in the house. I was old enough to basically realize how mind-blowing this is and remember it and comprehend it because I was 6. So it was like, all at once it was so much knowledge and I was just obsessed. When I was like 13-ish, Spotify was a thing at that point. I grew up essentially having the world's greatest vinyl shop in my pocket. And I was like, yo, I'm adding all the songs that my cousin showed me. And then I was like, what else did Usher do? And then I'd go to Confessions, listen to the whole thing. And I'd be like, where's this sample from? And then you go back. Because every single song you listen to has the go to album button. And every go to album button has the go to artist button. And every go to artist button has a artist like this button. And then you just like, for a 13-year-old with endless time, it was like play the games, playing Dragon Ball, listening to like all of this. And education just kept going. And it didn't feel like education because it was just so fun. The concept of these songs are old or these songs are new, it didn't matter because they were all new to me. I'm an uncle. I'm essentially an uncle in like a 14-year-old body. I'm there with my glasses on. I'm like, yo, and then my cousin showed me the whole thing. That database like shaped all of it. Whatever was popping in 2006, they showed me. But they moved on to what was cool. And I was just like, I'm staying here. This is sick. I'm gonna go back. When I first got into secondary school, which is like middle school here in America, and in my music class we had this project. It's called the 4 Chords Project. It was our first term of music. The classic pop 4 chords, easy structure. Bom, 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 bom. You follow this, you can sing ABBA, you can sing Phil Collins, you can sing all the pop songs are made in these 4 chords. He basically gave us like 60 songs on a whiteboard and said, any of these songs will fit. Just try them out and see what happens. I was like, we were like, sick. Our minds are being blown. We don't know what this is. So me being a small black boy with an afro, people used to call me Michael Jackson. So on the board was Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. So I was like, I love that song. So then we did Man in the Mirror and we sang it and my music teacher came in and then he recorded it. So we shot that on a Thursday, shot that Friday, come in the weekend, and I come back on Monday and I get off the school bus. Everyone's like, it's the Michael Jackson kid. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I know what it was. My family called me Michael Jackson, but not at school. They came like, yo, sing Man in the Mirror. Man in the Mirror. I was like, oh shit. He posted it and he was showing it to everyone in the last 3 days.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Ow! I'm asking you to change the ways. If you want to make the choice back to place, take a look at yourself. Don't make the
So then when I came in from then on until the day I left school, I was Michael Jackson kid. And that's when I first realized I could sing because people were like, yo, you sound sick. I was like, I thought everyone could do this. I'm just imitating what I hear. They're like, nah, man. They ain't doing it like that. My mantra in life up until a certain point was just get by. minimum effort. I'll be all right, because I need to go home. I've got games to play. I've got things to do. I've got music to listen to. My English teachers hated that. They were like, you could be this. But they knew that whether it's subconsciously or consciously, I was like, kind of just being like, I'm coasting. Also, I was in bottom set. Bottom set is like the worst set, because also all my friends are in bottom set. It made no sense. I want to put in effort to lose my friends. It made no sense. My English teacher, Miss Kemet, came to me and she was like, I've signed you up for a poetry competition. So why'd you do that? She was like, don't ask questions. You're going to do a poem. I need it by Friday. We're going to have detention for like 2 weeks. Do it. So I wrote a poem, and I was like, I don't know, man. Here you go. And then I got runners up. So she was like, see, you never do anything. You just did something and I just showed you that you actually have skills. A lot of all of what I've done now, I attest to her. And from that point, it was like, that changed the rest of my trajectory, where I went to university and I did creative writing. And I studied poetry because I was like, well, Miss Kemet showed me that that's the one thing I think I'm good at. I never wanted to do music. I never thought about writing songs ever. For some reason, it never bridged together. So that when the music stuff started coming, it was like the perfect base, where it almost felt like I didn't start from zero, because I'd been training to be a songwriter without knowing it my whole life.
And if you have me, I can provide everything.
I'm kind of someone who's always been lucky enough to have the right people around at the right time. I've learned how to be someone who's independent enough to be my own battery. I didn't know that when I was younger. I didn't learn to be that. My mum was working at KFC and doing the taxi and doing a single mum doing all this stuff. I was going to be a security guard. That was the whole trajectory. I was going to do uni, do the poetry thing, but I also knew that my degree wasn't worth shit. Poetry degree, what are you going to do with that? So I was like, I'm going to go back with this useless piece of paper. I'm going to do the security guard license and just be a security guard. That was it. It was my housemate, Isla. She was really into acoustic sets. She was on, it was like, tiny desk, get this and this. And I was like, this is really cool. I kind of like this. I sing all the time. It's not just when I get on stage. I sing on the way to the toilet. I sing like everywhere is the thing. That's what I always did. Before I even was doing music, that's what I did. She was like, listen, I want to record people doing acoustic videos. You sing all the time in the house. You sound pretty good. Also, because my degree was so easy, it was piss. She was like, you do nothing. Like, so you have no excuses. I'm gonna come to you at some point in the day. We're just gonna go drive to like a cliff and like, I'm gonna put the camera on and you just sing whatever you wanna sing. We made the Elmiene account then. We made it because we got to do a name. Did Elmiene, it was just for friends and family. And the first song I ever sang on that account as Elmiene was Otis Redding sitting at the dock of the bay on a cliff in a really grey English day. I was like, that was really fun. Let's do it again. As it was like a pastime, maybe every 5, 6 weeks. Do you wanna do Elmiene? Sure. And then one of those days it was D'Angelo.
Yeah, said you already got me right where you want me, babe. Said, oh, I just want to be a man.
The right person saw it. It's an R&B page called R&B Radar. He'd apparently been spying on me, creeping on the page until I posted the right one. I went to sleep. It had like 10 likes, friends and family, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. Did that horrible thing we do where you search for your phone first. Where is it? Looked. And it was just like, Missy Elliott reposted this and and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then from there, it was history. It just kind of went from there. I believe in the romance of life and like impacts and spirits and heritage. I think that's the most beautiful part about humanity in general, is the lineage of things and how we carry on and believe in them and respect them and then develop them to the next generation is like the best thing ever. So I've never in music ever half-assed anything, because it just kind of lit the fire in me that I never had before that point in my life. Yo, imagine telling your mum, yo, listen, my East African mum, yeah? Yo, mum, listen, I know I'm doing university, yeah, but something's happened. What happened? Video went viral. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm in London. Why are you in London? You've never been to London. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm in London now. I'm in a couch at so-and-so's house. Who? I don't know who that is. I just did that house, right? What are you doing? Music. What? How are you affording it? I'm like, I'm not, that's why I'm calling it. I need 100 quid. Me and Mama's relationship has always been very close, where she trusts me completely. And she has faith in what I do. Because she knows I was such a lazy, like, coast. The moment I'm like, no, Mum, I'm gonna do this. She's like, go on, show me. And I'll trust you the whole way through. That first month of being in London, being like, basically just this boy with a voice. Because labels are scary, they come immediately like, let's meet and da-da-da. And my biggest thing that always was like a red flag, I was like, what do you want me for? I've never written a song, not an artist. I don't know what I would tell you in a meeting because I don't know what I want. But in that confusion, I was in the studio for the first time and figuring that out. That was kind of a good thing that was keeping me going. That made sense. I'm perfecting a craft that I'd never done before. So then I work with this producer called Lil Silver. I wrote the first 5 songs I'd written, and one of the songs was called Golden. Golden was a song that I was kind of embarrassed of. I think I want to write a conventional song. Before that point, I was doing like spoken word over music and like singing a little bit here, and like, I was like, I don't know what I was doing. And then I was about to play Golden. I was like, I don't know if I should play it. And then a man called Benji B walked in. What I didn't know was he was the music creator for Louis Vuitton at the time with Virgil. So he walked in, he's friends with Lil Silver, they talk, whatever. He just happened to be in the studio next door. And then he looks at me, he's like, oh, nice to meet you. He's like, let me not interrupt what you were doing, carry on. The last song I had was Golden. I played Golden. And I'm like, oh, here we go, someone else to listen to my embarrassing song. And he goes, yo, what is this? Looking back at all my honest years. And then we just started talking. He was like, man, you a fan of D'Angelo? I'm like, yeah, that's my hero. He's like, I can hear it. I can hear all these things. And suddenly all the fire alarms in my head of talking about lineage and all these things that I love. So as a kid, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be part of this lineage?
Honestly, if you hadn't taken that aux cable in a studio session and just said, do you mind if I just play a couple of things I'm working on? And then I hadn't had my mind completely blown by hearing the demo of this song. And then I think I pursued you over the song, didn't I? It was like, give me your WhatsApp, please, can I have that song?
And then he kind of put the seal on it, where a week later he was like, let me get the song, please send me the song. Virgil wants to use it for his Louis Vuitton Miami show. Also, I don't even know who Virgil was. I don't know shit. I play Donkey Kong in my house and I do whatever, and then I'm like, I'm here and I'm writing songs, I'm in London. So I'm like, I'm sick. Virgil Abloh, and my housemate who made this, what I'm wearing now actually, Jasper Lynn, he's a fashion designer. So I told him, I'm working with a guy called Virgil. Jasper was like, what are you talking about? That's mental. And he's educating me on who Virgil is. And the next day I wake up and then my other housemate Jack comes in, he goes, you said you were working with Virgil? I was like, yeah. He was like, he just passed away. I was like, what are you talking about? Headline right there that morning, Virgil Abloh passes away. 2 weeks later, Benji messages me going, listen, this song Golden has become the soundtrack to this part of everyone's lives. I wrote Golden based on a poem I wrote by my grandma about the golden years of Sudan. It's a very nostalgic song. So it became essentially a song that mirrored what people were feeling about Virgil. Through complete happen chance, it just became the song of that moment. And when the Vuitton show came on, I'm watching it live, and Golden comes on, and it plays in full. And I'm watching, I can't believe, I'm like, what's going on?
Just a golden hour, or a golden minute, or a golden second.
See Pharrell there in the crowd, and my song's playing. I've written 4 songs at that point. I've not released a song in my life. What's happening? Virgil ended up being one of the men that I'm most thankful for in my whole career that I'd never met in my life before. And it kind of just became this weird little, like, strange whisper of an impact I had on music. Golden taught me that if you start doubting a song, remember how you felt like in the moment you were writing it. Before you left the room and you showed it to whoever you showed it to, and their opinions came in and they changed your mind. Before, when it was purely just you and the song, what did you feel? My manager Scott and Daniel, one of the things that I admire the most and respect that they did at the time was they were like, this was a beautiful thing that happened, but you need to figure out who you are as an artist. But we're gonna take a year and write. So Golden became the only thing that I was known for, and after that, I had time to develop and then come out with Elmiene. Elmiene, spelled like that because people don't know how to pronounce my name a lot of the time. Thing is, I kind of get it, but I also know that we all speak English and that the spelling is not wrong. Elmiene, teach people how to say my name first, introduce myself to the world officially. That was all the music that I wrote from that year and a half of just writing. With Jamie Woon was my sensei. He was just as big of a fanatic of Stevie Wonder as I was. Why was me being like, I want to write a Jodeci song. I want to write a song that changes into that at the end. Choose You was like, I need a wedding song. I get to choose you. Endless No Mores was like, man, I really love Drew Hill's April Showers. Endless No More. it was just me being like, okay, I'm just learning, so I'm gonna do what I've always done, is just pull from what I know and the greats and just go from there. My favorite song from Elmiene, before I take a while, I'm gonna need some time to see my girl. Before I take a while, I'm gonna need some time to feel my world. 'Cause I need for the me that never could. So Elmiene was really fun to write. I mean, I still perform the song to this day. Like, it's still crazy to me. Like, man, I remember where I was when I wrote that song. I had nothing to my name. So when that golden thing happened, wheeling back to 2021, December, Tunji was one of also the people that messaged me at the time. He was like, hey man, keep doing what you're doing. And then I'd respond, I was like, I don't know who this is, but sure, thank you, bro. And he had this like really Nigerian uncle like profile picture with like these shades in the sun. I'm like, who is this nigga? I left it in there. I was like, that was weird. And then 6 months later, he would hit me up again. Hey man, love what you're doing. Carry on. I'm like, who is this? So he'd been watching me for a long time. And then it was when I compiled and wrote my first EP, Elmiene, Tunji heard it and was like, he was one of the first people to be like, I've been watching this for a year and a half. I must sign this. The thing that signed me to Deftones, the reason I signed to Tunji and not anyone else was not his creepy messages. He said this phrase. He was like, I'm making a label for the Black Weirdos. I was like, hold on. I've been a Black Weirdo all my life. My family, well, they all went to one school, I went to a different school. My school was more predominantly white. They used to call me white. Go to that school. And then the kids there, they're like, you're black, obviously. What are you doing? I always felt in between realms. Like, I don't know what was right, what was wrong. I don't know what I was doing that wasn't black. I don't know what I was doing that was white. I didn't get it. Identity was like you're fighting for your life for no reason. I'm like, I might be arguing with someone why I'm black. And I'd be like, why am I arguing with you? Like, what's happening? But as a 14-year-old, you're like, you don't know, you're just frustrated. And you're just like, I know what I am, I think. But you don't really. So when Tunji turned, he was like, I'm making a label for the Black Weirdos. I was like, I don't care what anyone else has to say, I'm going with them. I've tried, I've lied, I've loved, I've lived. Marking My Time was a project I wrote to mark my time because, again, I felt like things were about to really change. It was my first trip to LA, to America, and it was like, okay, now I really need to make sure that I keep myself grounded. Whatever happens, happens. I need to make sure that I mark my time and let myself know every show I do a song from this EP that remember who you are. Could you love my demons more? Whether it's Mama, that's me writing about my worries about dying as a singer and not as a man of faith or a Muslim, worrying about what that means and what my career means and how that, you know, combines with my faith and all these things. All my worries that would, I think, stick with me for the rest of my career. I was like, I'm gonna put them here. Diana's a very special song to me. Here and now in a day we are brought, here in the court of ages, holding ground to sustain a belief, standing here on the dock. Like the past is a law, but what is it for? Corner man by the door, keeps his eyes on the log guide, but the law's gone away. Now I've met you, now I've met you. Tiny Desk, man. I mean, that's full circle for me because Tiny Desk was my introduction to modern music, which is crazy to say. So when that came around, it was like, it is bizarre and magical and very short. You get one take and you just do it. And before you know it, it's over. It's like work, baby, like work, baby. I need you, yeah. Better than everybody's love. Girl, it's a light for me. That's probably one of the coolest moments, I think, in my whole career was doing Tiny Desk. You can leave an item, an object, and that's what stays on it's all the decoration on the walls. I was looking around and I was like, oh, it's Questlove. And I was like, oh, it's En Vogue. So then I went, I was like, oh, and I left a little like Street Fighter 2 character. I was like, this is me. I'm gonna leave this here. It's back to the whole lineage thing where I was like, I'm part of the thing. I'm part of a movement of music that's happening right now. For the Deported, man. That is a project that I wrote purely about Sudan and about the wars going on now in Sudan and what's going on. And
if I promise heaven, would you give it up?
the biggest juxtaposition in my life at this point was I'm now a musician, I'm an artist, people know who I am. I'm touring the world and I'm doing all these things, I'm eating all these nice foods, I'm meeting all these nice people. And right at the same time, in my home country, my family was dodging bullets.
When all that I have known is nearly lost, the cupboard and the door has blown to dust.
And it was just this conflict in my head that I couldn't get around, and I was like, yo, how the fuck am I allowed to live this life when I know my cousins who are the same age as me, their families happen to stay in Sudan instead of going to the UK? How could the path be so different? And For the Deported was kind of my way of coping with that. So I didn't feel like I was alienating my whole identity by just being this R&B singer who sings about love when it's like, your family's dying, bro.
Open light.
And that was For the Deported, Open Light, and all those songs were for them.
Showering my clothes on.
I've been writing my debut album for the past 6 months. It's a lot emotionally and everything, like writing this thing, and you have doubts about yourself writing and all these, like I went through the whole journey. As I'm trying to finish up my album, I'm writing other songs in between for fun. Well, I'm just like, right, I'm talking about taking shower, my clothes on, like I'm just fucking around, I don't know. I love the 90s R&B and the jokes and the videos and all of that as much as I love Stevie Wonder and all these people that shape me this way, they shape me that way, they're in my voice. And then my managers in their little secret scary lab were like, yo, all these off songs that he's writing for fun, they're a project on their own. And we realized if you want to release an album, you got to heat the streets first. Essentially this mixtape that came out of nowhere, some are from like past, but most of the songs are very, very new. Which is also another exciting thing for me, like songs usually live forever before they're released. This is so exciting because it's like, whoa, I don't even know these songs like that. Luckily for me, it resonated really well, Useless and how that's kind of gone down. The reason it's called Heat the Streets because I need to heat the streets before I properly give the main meal.
Let's make one less memory of how we used to hold.
If you write with your backbone and spine being the lineage of what genre you're writing in, you can't fail because you're writing with something way greater than you are. Don't write from your power because you can't lift so much. Write from all of the people behind you that have basically made this genre what it is and made it the thing that you love. Because then you can lift a skyscraper because you're not lifting with your own two hands, you're lifting with everyone. You're way, way less likely to fail.